I want to make sure y'all see the picture up and close before we start the video. I just have to make sure y'all see the picture. For those that are spiritual, already know what she about to say. For those that are spiritual, already know what she's about to say. That is Emmett Till's mom right there, y'all. Do y'all see? Do y'all see where this is about to go? Okay, let's get into it. All my spiritual people get in here. All my spiritual people get in here. Listen when I tell you this. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. And what we're about to see right now is one of our sisters explain when she was growing up in Mississippi, her hearing about the stories of Emmett Till and all the stories of the injustices that happened to our people is going to shock you to the core. For those that aren't spiritual, for those that are spiritual, we going to say, look, there's nothing new under the sun. This just history replaying itself. I want y'all to pay attention to what our sister says in this video, y'all. Make sure you get the likes up. Make sure you hype this video, because you ain't going to want to miss this one right here. Check it out.
As someone that's born and raised in Mississippi, from the Mississippi Delta to be exact, these two photos of Emmett Till's mother has been engraved in my head and all of my siblings and cousins' head since we were children. Both of my grandfathers were born in 1943, and they were in their right mind until they passed last year. They were 12 when Emmett Till was murdered. My grandfather on my mother's side attended his funeral in Chicago. My grandfather on my dad's side stayed outside of Greenwood, but they moved to Clarksdale after Emmett Till's murder. I have lived in multiple cities in Mississippi, or have either visited my cousins all over and friends and family, and I'm here to tell you that you still feel that shit here. Nolan Wells' case was never supposed to make it past Jackson, Mississippi, because the people from Mississippi, we was already hip to what was going on before it hit national news, but them folks wasn't expecting it. But what hurts the most, and if I see it, I know y'all can see it. Nolan Wells' mother looks very, very similar to Emmett Till's mother.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Emmett Till's story and Nolan Wells' story has their differences, at the root of it, the energy is still the same, as well as their tragic demise. I'm blessed enough to say that a lot of the Black history that I learned from Mississippi, I didn't have to learn it from a book. I heard it from the mouths of my family members. And sadly, nothing has changed.
When you believe in the spirit and you're somebody who can feel the energy and you read people's aura, you understand that everything don't have to align exactly the same. Those are simple-minded people who say, yeah, but they don't have on the same earrings, or they don't have the same hairstyle. We got to ignore those people. But when you read energy and you believe in the spirit, you know exactly what this sister is talking about. There has been some new information regarding the coordinates and the path that the boat had took that Nolan Wells was supposed to be on.
Breaking news, we now know the exact coordinates that the boat carrying Nolan Wells took the entire day. All of this newly received information was provided by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. GPS data obtained by them shows the boat's movements the entire day. The boat carrying Nolan Wells departed a private dock in Ocean Springs on July 4th at 9:56 a.m. It then arrived at Horn Island at 11:14 a.m. The boat then left Horn Island at 4:31 p.m. and headed back to its initial departure dock. Around 5:52 p.m., the boat then traveled to Fort Bayou. Then it returned to the dock at 6:06 p.m. Later that same night at 7:19 p.m., the boat then goes to the Fort Bayou launch. From there, it was tracked being towed by a vehicle over land. It was headed to Biloxi, Mississippi, where the owner of the boat lives. The department's reports then end on July 5th after they were notified that local police would be taking over the lead in the investigation. To reiterate, at 9:56 9:56 a.m., the boat carrying Nolan and his friends on July 4th head towards Horn Island. At 11:14 a.m., they arrive at the island. At 4:31 p.m., they left Horn Island, heading back to the initial departure dock. At 5:52 p.m., they traveled to Fort Bayou. Then at 6:06 p.m., they were back to the dock. At 7:19 p.m., they were then back at the Fort Bayou launch. Following that, they then traveled to Biloxi, Mississippi, where the owner of the boat resided.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I heard the leaked audio of the boys saying that the boat was sinking, and you know, the new GPS data that came out. They have been all over the place with their information. I really don't believe nothing that's coming out of Mississippi. And for them to wait 11 days later to come out with all of this, why y'all taking so damn long? Let's not forget, AI is good and well nowadays. There's so many things that can be manipulated while y'all taking y'all damn time on the information.
Oh, so y'all really thought y'all was gonna get away with deleting all the pictures and videos on Nolan's phone? No. Now they gave the phone over to some technicians who's gonna go in there and they gonna get all of those pictures, all those videos, and all of that evidence to show us that these white boys were thugs, killers, murderers, homicidal maniacs, racist pieces of shit. Yes, that's what we about to find out. That's what's going on. That's what you're going to discover once the discovery is discovered. Those boys know exactly what the fuck happened. Those boys knew exactly what to do when they got back to land and talked to their judge for a mother. Y'all need to lawyer up right now. As a matter of fact, I need to help clean up this mess by going out here and publicly speaking on a death investigation, which, by the way, is against her whatever the thing they do when they go get their judge license or whatever. They're not supposed to speak publicly and about anything that's not on their desk, especially a death investigation. So I can't wait.
And this is what the petition was about, because she was going against the grain as far as her speaking out too soon, as far as her being biased towards family members and stuff. She's going against the system. She wasn't supposed to do that. So what we're about to listen to is the audio of Nolan Wells' fake friends calling and saying that their boat was sinking. Now it's a little snippet. Me personally, I don't believe it. Y'all took way too long to come out with this damn audio, knowing that we wanted answers around the 4th or the 5th. Why you wait all the way to now to give us this little snippet and AI is out there? I'm not buying it, y'all. I'm not buying it, but check it out.
Tonight, new audio shedding light on the moments before some of Nolan Wells' friends left Horn Island off the coast of Mississippi. A mom of one of the friends last week said the group left without Nolan when their boat began malfunctioning.
We're sinking. Can y'all please come?
NBC News has obtained audio as part of a records request that details the group calling for towing assistance.
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
Nolan went to the island.
What the hell is that? That little snip, that was like 2 seconds. Anybody could recreate that in the matter of 11 days? We needed that information last year. What are you talking about?
Island in a boat with friends on July 4th. His body was found 2 days later. It's unclear whether Nolan was with anyone when he disappeared. This as the search for answers in the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells continues. His family's attorneys saying they'll now work side by side with investigators to analyze Nolan's cell phone.
So everybody will be able to see at the same time what the cell phone has.
Nolan's parents previously said they believe content may have been deleted from the phone. The case will be presented to a Mississippi grand jury once the investigation is complete. The local district attorney telling NBC News that's a standard practice for cases with an unknown cause of death and not an indication that a crime was committed. Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter says his team has interviewed several witnesses and is working to get answers for the family.
Do you feel like you're getting useful information that's been helpful to figuring out what happened?
Yes, sir. We're getting very useful information, and we appreciate the public coming forward with what they've had, and we don't want them to be hesitant.
Today, the family met with the district attorney for more than an hour.
It was just a meeting where she talked about the process. She didn't tell us any information about the investigation. We're trying to get to those answers.
As tonight, Nolan's family prepares to hold his funeral next week.
He would not want us to be sitting around crying and eating, and so what we're going to do is kind of have a party. to celebrate him.
Tom, the state and independent autopsy
She trying her best to keep it together. You can see it because it's people out there saying, oh, why she's not crying with tears coming down her eyes and all. She probably do that in privacy. And again, you can't tell nobody how to mourn, you know what I mean? But like I said, all skin folk and kin folk, you got people that's out there saying F Nolan Wells and all of that, bruh. Them people are not right, man. But I want y'all to listen to how quickly the certain news and TMZ, they be so in a rush when there's any information alluding to Nolan Wells drowning or alluding to him not being involved in anything happening to him. They rush. They so quick to give us that type of news. But if there's anything that's saying that he was involved in something happening to him by them boys, they don't want to report that shit. They don't want to, then they want to switch up their words and all of that. But that's the end of the video. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about Nolan Wells' mom looking like Emmett Till's mom. And how, I know they didn't pass away the same way, but history repeating itself, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this little snippet, this little audio. That shit just disgusted me. For y'all to wait this long, hey, we found some audio. Nah, I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Get in the comment section. Make sure you hype this video. Big Kish signing out. Gone, y'all.